Welcome to another video. I'm gonna make these videos for a while. So I'm gonna start with a new thing. Uh, uh, Can you copy what Addis Pro has? I haven't really done anything else yet, but I'm gonna start my civilization thingy of the UAE. Now, why of the UAE? When I last checked, the UAE area over here in the Arabian Peninsula, as I like to call it, continental peninsula, you can say, because it has its own plate and stuff. Um, what it has over here in this area specifically is a lot of vegetation, as I have seen, and I think this would make a good spot to start a scenario from. So we first see a few hunter-gatherer groups uh, up here, and soon we have our first nation. Uh, Village nation. It's a few villages actually. Cut forward a few million years, they are well a few thousand actually. They have massively expanded their knowledge area. They haven't yet made maps, but they have made like stone carvings of maps, so semi-maps you can say. Some of these explorations that they have done have resulted in the finding of this area. I knew there was a little area that I forgot. I did not remember it. And also this. Because, well, what else? But yeah, they also discovered this area. Most of it actually. They push over here and start to push towards where the UAE is. But as they do that, they also try to find more lands that they can inhabit. Currently, they think this is all they know. They know there's land over here, land here, and land here, but they don't know what's beyond this area. They just think they're like on something like this. They do know about this area. Some people have gone across but haven't documented it. Some people say, oh, there's a land here, and some people have gone further. Other people know that there's something over here, but they don't know what. And basically, it's a so and so. Soon we see that the red team has massively grown, deciding to take what's over here under its belt. So life is good for them. Problem is their population isn't proportional to their food. So yeah, they're having a food crisis. They have too many people and too little land to farm. So they decide to go a bit over here, start to send people here, and oh, what's this? They feel kinda weird, and it's because they have a rebellion. Over here in the north, where people just don't like the rulers anymore, they once liked them, but well, it's a kingdom mostly like that. These guys want change, a lot of change. Actually, they don't want the king to be in power anymore. They want a new king, the king's third son, who's more of a reformationist and expansionist guy. This goes as well as you'd expect. The Reds are surprised. Blue armies managed to take a lot of land before going south. Red armies are cut off in the north and destroyed. Southern red armies are also basically destroyed after having being pushed into unknown lands. Some of these armies do manage to push back some areas a bit, like over here in this battle area. But generally, they don't really do anything else. Just that eventually the Blues managed to win a battle, a major battle that caused them to win. Basically, this civil war and all of it in its glory. Basically, what they do is declare, okay, leader, we are going to sack you out. Welcome, new leader. Yay! Yeah, now you better expand, make us expand, or we will kill you. That's what they basically say to the new leader. So what did they do? They massively expand their search areas, and they actually expand a lot. That's basically all they do. They do manage to also push a bit more over here towards where Oman is, but they don't push too much as they don't want to overextend themselves. We do see the Reds move quite far into over here, and now their population is getting to a point that they want to move this way because, well, they see it as an opportunity and maybe there's something good here. They have, for the past years, been able to get up to the Qatar, and some of them have gotten a pretty good view of it, and it's mostly habitable. You can grow some crops there, not all of the crops, but some wheat crops, and get a lot of grain so you can feed your people, kind of stuff. And the Reds are like, oh, let's go there. Uh, they weren't expecting for a lot of casualties, as there was a lot of hostile fauna over here. Fauna by I mean predators. A lot of predators. Not those in human society, those that are killing humans and eating them. And those are animals, so yeah, out of those are killed, and the economy takes a bit of a hit after the loss of the military, who were also the main getter of hides and stuff. Basically, hide is a current commodity. If you have enough hide, you can make yourself a cloak, and if your cloak is unique enough, you are a high chieftain. It's kind of a chieftain kingdom. So, yeah. Over here, we do see the red forces push over here, trying to get what's possibly the only lands that they can get left before, well, they hit just desert again. This whole time they're being limited by the desert, by the way, so if you guys want them to expand a lot more, then they're gonna have to go through a lot of desert. The Reds do take this northern area, but they don't push any further as they like where they are. Cut a few thousand years, and they have explored basically all of this up here. This is all explored except for a few areas up here that have yet to be determined if they want to explore it, mainly these areas. They don't want to go anywhere above this line that I have made, so yeah, they don't think there's any more land there. Someone managed to push an expedition force further south and discover a lot of coastline. And now they think, oh, it's a kind of a big island, if you can say that. And they finally take over what's left of that. The new king that comes into power is kind of a dictator, but the people aren't against it. They're more like they have experienced dictators before, so they're used to them. So we have the red team looking like this after a few thousand years. You can see they have come from this area all the way pushed outwards, a bit more outwards. At the same time, they push this way, and finally they have ended their pushes with this one and this one. So they have pushed a lot of ways, and they're quite big now. Big ways, you can say, basically. Some people decide they want to do their own thing and go up here a bit more to try and settle there. Problem is, it's actually a bit colder, and they are more curious, and they go more and more up until they're like, wait, why is it getting quite luscious over here? Oh my god! Oh my god! Is this a river? We have found a river. Yeah, and they just follow the river. Now the river goes a long way over here. I'm not gonna go entirely around this area, but they do decide to push over here. Decide not to push too much over there. They want to leave that to future generations or future explorers over there. And they come all the way back to the red team after getting all of this good stuff, the goodies, you can say. And the red team is like, did I just hear a lot of grain? A lot of land that we can farm in? Oh boy, do I want to go over there. And they decide that they want to go over there. Problem one, their entire population is against it. So they don't really want to go up there a lot. Most of them do want to go down here where they have just recently bulged out this area. And they want to go further south and take a lot of area, which they are going to do. The southern explorers managed to say, you know what, we have just found what appears to be an entire island area. And people are like, what can we do with islands? Like, what? Oh, what's this galore? And they find that out. How did they find this out is that from the closest point over here to this island, they found this out, and now they have better, well, due to like technology and stuff evolving as well. Boating is more of a sustainable practice. Uh, Basically, they have just now pushed over here, deciding they want this land, or what is this land at least, and they want whatever is in it. So life is good for them. And at this point, they are overextending themselves. Yes, they are a great empire. They are spanning a lot of this coastline, but their empire is getting thinner and thinner by the day. And at some point, there's a breaking point, and people don't want to go anywhere anymore. So we're gonna have to wait a few thousand years. What has happened with those few thousand years? Oh, the Reds have explored a lot of. Oh, as you can see, the Reds have put a lot of the resources into expanding this known area over here. Over here, they were also expanded, only taking a bit of the desert, as they don't want desert. They want the more luscious areas. But they have quickly seen the use of it for building and stuff, so they start using it for more sturdy things. Or sandstone. They use that as it's more of a sustainable thing that they can use. They also push quite far up here, and they kind of push over here as well. Not as much, but maybe even more than just as much. And at this point, they're gonna have a rebellion, and it's Qatar. Qatar is sick and tired of, well, being made to farm all day, even though they want to farm and they love farming, and they decide to rebel. And what they do is that they sabotage all of the wheat things, carts that are being used to transport all the wheat, and then they just cut this area off and Eventually, the Red Armies too managed to push over here and push out the Yellows and from the north and wherever. Some rebellions in this area that do want to still have relations with the Reds do pop up, and they just destroy the Yellow Rebellion from within. And at this point, the Reds are too big to be messed with and too large to even move a lot anymore. So they just decide to go a bit more north, get a lot of that stuff under the belts. Ooh, this is a good spot to be at. And at this point, they just love islands. They just love them. They have a fondness for them. They have a lot of good stuff as they see it. And good stuff, they mean farmable land. They farm islands. Those Omani guys that wanted to go towards Oman and its other lands decide to go more over here and immediately regret it because it's too much sand and they don't like it until they're forced to do it because the rest of the guys that were left behind didn't like that, so they want change. Basically, the Reds aren't stopping them. They don't see any more value in this. So, as every single one of these three army, well, not army, rebellion groups connect up, they immediately gain the support of all of what's this southern area over here and start to push up in the north, taking these islands, which the Reds aren't kinda liking, but they're okay until the Blues try to take what's these northern parts, where they get stopped right there and are then pushed back a bit in the north on the coastline because, well, yeah, the Reds don't want to lose the coastline. Also, they had a bit of an expansion over here. And over north, they had just done one thing. Expanded area. Part 2. So they have just expanded their area. They have pushed a lot of explorers, a lot of settlers over here. This is very fertile land and they're using it to like feed their entire population. And the Blues kind of missed off out of this opportunity, but eventually they did get the lands that they wanted over here. Kind of weird borders, I know, but at least this looks a bit more visually appealing for me. Yeah, those look good. You can barely even see them if you're closer than you can see them. But we do see the Reds eventually start to focus more on the sand areas because their sandstone houses are being there. Well, sandstone is their main need. Basically, they want to make a lot of more houses. And Omani country is right now relying on the Reds for food and stuff. And they're trading for it with the minerals and stuff they have found. They are using whatever animals they can hunt over here to survive. They are pushing even further over here towards Yemen, and they are taking these lands. So you can see the world is decently big, and we're going to go back over to the Reds because they have just made a large discovery. All of this over here, center parts, yeah, habitable. What they do? They send a lot of people to settle this, and they have just managed to gain a lot of fertile land. The farmers here are having plentiful harvests, except for a few that are isolated, but well, since they're isolated, they can keep the grain, but sometimes they don't stay isolated for long. They want to sell it and get meats and stuff. The meat part, the hunters are going all the way up here, as well as some farmers. The hunters do not have anything against the farmers, but sometimes they clash. So that the farmers want more land that they can farm on and farm cattle with, or graze cattle, so they can butcher the cattle. But the hunters are like, no, 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 stop that. We need this land. We need to hunt. If we don't hunt, we don't have any meat, so we can't eat meat. And if we don't have meat, then we don't have food. And they're being just a bunch of nutheads. Eventually, the raids are like, okay, we're gonna stop right here. We are perfectly where we are at, and let's check on. Oh, the blues are going quite far in their explorations. And they have just stopped over here. What do we do as the raids? What do we do? Oh, I know. We're just gonna push this way. There should be at least a lot of land over here, so we can then cut them off after we go here. Wait, where's the land? Okay, there's a lot of. How the hell is there water here? And eventually the Reds find out there's an entirely different sea over here, the Red Sea, if I'm correct in saying that. And basically the Red Sea is basically for them a new thing, because they haven't found that before, and now they're thinking, if there's no land here, then what is over here? So a lot of people go and see for themselves, and they see that it's a bunch of crap, and some of them want to just leave. Bad thing for them, the Reds are going to decide to take all of this land for themselves. Greedy bastards, I know. But at this point, the Reds are having a bit of internal problems, so they're gonna only stop at this point. A few dozen years later, the Blues are having some financial problems, so all they can do over here is only a bit of exploration, and that's it. Thanks to this, the Reds are going to have a blast over here doing stuff and just finding new ways to humiliate their Blues, as they are pushing quite far into Arabia now. And yeah, they have just pushed up over here. They are doing as much as they can just to get more land. And at this point, the Reds are like, okay, we are getting a bit too big, but our population is mostly over here. All of the people who were here just left this area, so we are quite good. We're just gonna go and explore this way. And turns out, a few 100 million years ago, a large group of people from Qatar, or the UAE, traveled through here, kind of settled here, but then had a famine, so they went over here. And now we have Egypt, as I'd like to call them. They are semi like the Reds in their building practices. They use sandstone stuff, but basically what they do is they just stay where they are. And as soon as the yellows are found, the yellows actually push for the first time in their history. A lot of yellows come over here and start to settle as well, discovering mostly this area. Decide to also push a bit further into this area, trying to take as much area as they can. As much land, sorry. I'm saying all the time. I'm saying area. It might be a bit obnoxious of me. I'm sorry if that is. And the Reds only managed to get this much land before the Egyptians get the rest. So yeah. Also, the Egyptians go along the Nile. If I am correct, it's somewhere like this area. This is the Nile, if I'm correct. So yeah, they're going to go all the way towards here, and just as they are expected of, they do that. So we have our first civilization, and the Reds are having their eyes set on Arabia, as they want as much as they can get and as much as they are willing to get. At this point, the Blues are having again another financial problem. So as they were trying to build up funds, another thing happened, and well, they lost all of their funds, so they could stabilize the country again. So they won't be able to explore for a long time, which is even better for the Reds, as they are just gonna explore and take as much land as they want, settling only a few parts. As currently they are pushed all the way up to Turkey and some parts of Iran, or well, like Tehran and stuff. That's found, and there is where Tehran is basically. Those are found out, and the Reds are like, okay, we're gonna just push and take as much land as we can before anyone else decides to settle here and make their own nation. Oh, why have you stopped right here? Why? Who permitted you to stop? There shouldn't be any stopping. Why is there? Oh, I'm gonna make it a different to that twice, and yep, perfect. We have our purple country, and the purple country was here just now. The Reds were a bit too late. They were gathering troops and explorers and settlers. So in that time, people that did go there decided to settle there and make their own country. The Reds don't like this, but they aren't going that way. They don't have the resources to do so. Currently, they're putting all the resources into discovering what's over here. They think there's gonna be like another ocean over here, and then it's gonna be another ocean, bigger like this. It's gonna be a large ocean. As far as they know, this thing goes like this, like this, a bit over here. They do know that there's something over here. They think there's something over here, but they don't know about these islands. And this is the area that they know of. Very good, very good and cool. So, what are the Blues gonna do about this? Very much nothing. A few areas do decide to say, okay, we're gonna be independent for a bit because we need to wait and build our stuff. The Blues aren't against it until these guys just cut them off. That's until these guys decide to finally unite with the Blues, and everything goes swelling well. Everything goes perfectly as they planned, and eventually a large party of explorers is gathered, and they go all the way down over here, and then they just go along the coast. They find a lot of stuff along the coast, so they go more across the coast, and then they accidentally make boats and think, okay, we're gonna sail over here. We think there's something here. They do get here and set up a few colonial things. Basically, this is kind of a colony, and now that they have this, they can dictate trade through there. If there was trade, they're like, okay, in the future there might be trade through this if we get enough stuff to make sure that trade goes through there. So we're just gonna keep that land. And while they were doing that, the Reds were increasingly building up explorers, using them up, and retraining a lot of new ones to send and explore. And eventually, the Reds were kind of tired of going just for Arabia, so they finally decided to go up here with their explorers. It was quite harsh to get here, so they stopped where they are, except for a few that want to go even more this way, and they actually discover a lot of area which they can actually go through. Some of this area is good for habitability, and it's good for farming, so they're just gonna settle down and farm as much as they can, and they just kind of stop right there. Yeah, this has been the first video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna see you all in the next video.